Podcast.
Bro, I'm glad we was able to link up on this, nice little Saturday evening and, get some content up out here, right?
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right. So let me see. So all right, so I got a couple things I wanted to pull up first to react to. Um and let's see. Let's get started on that. But how's your night been, bro?
It's been good, man. The family, we've been busy. I know. I've been moving, so
Yeah.
we've been a little slow lately, just because I've been busy. But finally
Right.
we moved in. We just unpacking and building furniture, but it feels good to
Right.
be in a home. So life is good, bro. I'm chilling right
That's
now,
what's up.
man.
That's what's up. All right. So we got your cousin on the stream or whatever.
Hey,
All right. So all right.
what
So
up,
let's just get
cuz?
started. Let's dive right into this shit, right? Um so let me pull up the first joint I wanted us to react to. And this is all right. So this right here, right? Before I pull it up. This is a guy. This is from Kendra G Singles live show, right? This
Oh
is a
Lord, have
guy,
mercy.
right? Um I it caught my attention earlier. I thought Bull was saying some interesting stuff. And I'm interested to see what you and your cousin gonna have to say about this dude.
All
All right.
right, yeah, we got to start going in on the fellas too, because they be on some
Absolutely.
BS.
Absolutely.
So
All right, let's see. Here we go. This dude right here. All right.
All right, Lamar, Kansas City, Missouri. No kids. Works at a women's
Lamar.
Aquarius. Never married as well. What kind of woman you looking for?
Um, a faithful one with traditional values and things like that. You know. Can I tell you what I don't want?
That's the second question. So do you want to? This is all you want to. The second question
Yeah.
is what you don't like. So do you want to finish what you want first?
I just want a woman that can cook, clean. You know. Majority of her is like traditional. I never seen a woman that's 100% traditional, but to like at least 80%. Because
You gonna pay all the bills?
if need be,
Well,
you
that's
know.
what the when you say traditional.
Oh man. No, keep
Pause
it
it right
going.
here.
No, you keep
Okay,
going.
keep
I'm
going.
just saying, hold up, bro. I'm just talking.
She
Keep
also
it going.
expects you to be a traditional man in that sense, and in
Yeah.
that statement, the man pays all the bills. So you
True.
See
said you
now,
see an 80% traditional women. Are you 100%
80.
traditional man?
no. I'm just 80%. The reason why I say 80% is because I'm not a rich person. So if I was rich, it
Well, then
might
you
come a time to
can't
where
get the
like
traditional woman that you have to be able to pay for that type of service,
yeah, I
sir.
know, but do that mean that I gotta settle for less because I'm not making a certain amount
Well,
of
she's
money, right?
settling for less for you
Talking
because
about
she's gonna have to
settling.
contribute to the bills. So it
No,
seems like you're getting your equal
Right.
equation.
that's why I said 80% because eventually, if I might not have it coming up here, and I might be like, nah, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, you know,
So you
things
want
like
her to
that.
pay 20%.
When only if I don't have it, I'm gonna pay 100%. But if it ever come a time that I won't have it, because I don't know my current health, because I'm gonna end up being an old man eventually. So what if I get sick or something like that, and then she
You
don't
still
want to
got like
look after
50
me, and I
years down
can't
the
go to
line,
work
bro.
today, and I might not have it
Right.
coming up.
Right.
So that's why I didn't say 100%. I'm just being realistic.
Okay. So do you want your wife to work?
Um, Honestly, no, I really don't. I wanna do all the working. I want to take care of her and
So
things like that. But
in that example you just gave, if life happens to you, where would the money come if she doesn't work?
right. Right, but then that's why I say 80%. I know that she's going to have to work eventually, but that's only if she wants
What?
to.
Okay, well let's
Her
get
money or something.
Hold on, pause.
okay, let's
Pause
get
it.
to
Hold
what you
on.
don't want. You was
Hold
ready to
on.
All right.
Pause it for a sec, because he about to go on what he don't want, right? But
Right. Right.
yeah,
Right.
because it's Cap. I talk about Cap. Yo, all right. So we probably agree on this side. You cannot come in here requesting a traditional woman, and by that I mean a woman who cooks, cleans, takes care of the house, does the nesting. When you have kids, is gonna take care of them kids. Like, you cannot request that, but be iffy about providing for her so she can stay in her feminine, stay in the soft life while she's taking care of all that. What are you contributing? because I think it is crazy to expect a woman to work a full-time or part-time job, honestly, but to work a job and then come home and fulfill all of the woman's gender roles in that household. I think that is ridiculous. So that's my first thought, bro. Like, are you like, how you feeling about both so far? 'Cause this is
listen,
wild,
bro. So it pisses me off when I hear this word traditional from women normally, right? Because when women say traditional normally today, what they mean is, hey, I'm not going to do the things that traditional women have done, but you should still pay my bills. You should still do the things that traditional men have done, right?
Right.
It's in his case, it's the opposite. So he's like, I want a traditional or an 80% traditional woman, but I'm not gonna do the traditional shit that men should do. If you want a traditional man, you got to do that traditional man shit. I mean, if you want a traditional woman, you got to do that traditional man shit, and that's just what it is. So
And
Boy's kind of bugging with, right?
We've always said traditional women get traditional treatment, right? We've said that too. Like if feminine traditional women, they can get that traditionally masculine man who's going to pay for everything and lead and do all that. Like traditional women get that treatment. You know what I mean? Everything else is up for negotiation. If it's 50-50, if it's going to be we both working, everything else is negotiable, right? But if I'm paying everything, my expectation is I'm taking care of you. You don't have to work. Take care of the kids.
He's talking about some. Oh well, if I get sick, if this and that, tough shit, bro. Like it is like
up.
Right, like that's on you. Like that's not on her. If you put her in this position where you want this traditional woman of her to cook and clean, but like it's not a like if she does this, I'll do this thing. It's like these are the roles. This is what she signed up for. This is what you got to do. If you can't perform that anymore, she should be able to dip without no issue.
Right. No, yeah.
You shouldn't cry about it. You shouldn't bitch about it. She should just be able to replace you, and you just suck it up and be like, all right, I couldn't fulfill my end of the contract. So just as how hard I am on women when women talk this traditional shit, it's the same way with men. I just don't normally hear men say, hey, I want to do this traditional shit, but then I want this traditional shit, but don't want to do their traditional thing. We all know what it means when women say, hey, we want this traditional kind of man.
We know what that means.
At a bare minimum, they want you to pay all the bills. Other things come with it too, but at a bare minimum, you're paying all the bills.
Right. Or the bulk of them, like 95%. You know what I mean? Like working is optional. When I see that, like for her, it's optional, everything, but she's taking care of the crib. You know what I mean? Like that is her occupation. She tends to the home. And if the woman was a breadwinner, my expectation would be that, well, I would never be a stay-at-home dad, but if he at home, your job is to take care of the house, and it's the same thing. It doesn't matter the gender. It depends on who's working and who's not. So no, bro, this is nutty. Let's see what he don't want, because it already sounds like some BS.
All right. So no, I already fast forward to the part. So the way he didn't want that shit was kind of corny, but this is the part that I fast forward to the part where I think is going to be like a more interesting conversation. So I'm gonna play that.
All right.
You are entitled to your beliefs, and I will say this.
Oh man,
come on, Lamar.
Right.
You making us look bad, Brody.
I do not believe marriage is the answer for every human being. There's some people who I feel as though they just should not get married. And maybe you are one of those people. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're being honest and upfront.
If I do, it's going to have to be like two people or something like that.
Oh, no. If you get married, you're going to get married to 2 or 3 people?
Yeah.
I mean,
let me stop it right here.
Can you
this
afford?
Nigga's fucking delusional, bro. This is like male. Like we talk about female delusion all the time. This is male delusion, bro. He can't have one wife and pay all the bills, but he want 2 or 3 of them. Nigga, you so delusional, bro. Like you are you gone. Like you out here, you playing Monopoly or something with like, come on, man. This dude crazy, bro.
Yeah, it looks bad. Listen, I know that there are the guys who are like, well, if you go back to Africa, they have polygamy, men have multiple wives, I'm like, yeah, but usually they all lived in the same house or hut, whatever it is. They all, they were all with him. He took care of all of them, and he was able to provide for all of them. But like these dudes be out here, all they think about when they think about like polygamous relationships is sex. That's the only aspect they think about, is that I'm gonna be having sex with multiple women, and all of them are in agreement, maybe all at the same time, maybe, you know what I mean? But they only think about that aspect. But bro, dealing with one woman full time for a lifetime is a big ass emotional investment. Just one woman is so much work and effort and resources. Imagine 2 or 3 of them, bro. Imagine through 2 having to provide for 2 or like men. I feel like men like this, they don't think about that.
No.
They don't think about that.
You know what this reminds me? In fact, let me play a couple more seconds of this. Then
my bad. Go ahead.
Because I feel like, boy, he kind of lost
nutty.
me with this.
He's
shit.
nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. It's the Western mindset to only want to be married to only one person.
So you got
Told you, there
You
you
gotta
go.
leave America to get married that way?
Yeah, we can do it down here with no contract or nothing. Let's go right on outside and let's do it. Have some people gather around like a barbecue, like how the
So,
A
blacks be doing.
barbecue.
so do
What?
you want a polygamous relationship? Is you want more than one woman?
No, I just want like two.
Two
Just
women.
give me two good ones.
Just
Give me
two.
two good ones to feed my urges.
Told you.
And they can't have kids.
Nah,
All right. Well, this nigga, I'm done with him anyway. But like, all right. So this reminds me of like Philly Muslims, right? So so when I say that, it's like, you know how Philly Muslims are like, listen, they want to have multiple wives, but like when you're a Muslim within that religion, like they allow for you to have multiple wives, but the idea is for you to be able to provide for them equally.
Right.
Right. So if you got a house and a car and a golden retriever and two kids in private school with your main wife, you need to have that. And you got four other wives, you need that. The other wives need to have the same value. They also need to have a car, two golden retrievers. I mean, the kids, things, whatever. But the resources need to be equal for all four households, right? Let's say you got four wives, right? But the Philly Muslims do it a little differently. The Philly Muslims, they'll have their main wife, and trust me, and my barber's Muslim. I'm you and I are from Philly, so we know how this shit go. The Philly Muslims will be like, they'll have their main wife and they'll be in maybe not a middle class house, right? Whatever, how many kids they have, but their other three wives are in like Section 8. And they just stay at each house or whatever, and they just keep, linking out, having babies or whatever. But like the whole thing, if you're gonna have all these wives, you gotta have enough money to be able to pay for all these wives. The people I know that are Muslims that have multiple wives, they all get welfare, they all in Section 8, they all doing all this stuff. It's like it's a
It's
bad look.
dusty. It's dusty.
It's dusty, but it's like
Dusty.
that's the whole thing, and that's what in the Muslim countries, like, bro, like the people with money can do that shit. The people without
Right.
money, which is the vast majority of people, can't do it. So the regular boy
Right.
Habib just got one wife in one crib providing for her because he can't afford for Sarah and Barbara. He can't afford 4 houses. He can't
Yeah.
afford 3 houses,
Right. No,
and neither can they. But they
about that.
just be like, hey, well, they got a house. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So, and he on the same type time. He like, listen,
Yeah.
just come down here. We can eat oodles and noodles every day, beefaroni and spam. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and yeah,
just,
my cousin, they got sister wives, right? Sister wives.
right,
But see, you can have, listen, there are some relationships that this is the case where it works. And it can work if you can afford, if you can provide for all of them. And then for some of them, they all work. You know what I mean? Some of them, it's
right,
like, listen, I'm still going to do my part. As long as you contribute, I'm good, right? But so it's not impossible. It's just extremely difficult. And like I said, I don't think that women, if you meet a man who doesn't have a clear vision of how he's going to pay for all this and fund all this, and he's weird about his role and his expectations, but expects you to still do what you got to do, you're barking up the wrong tree. And we've talked about this
mm-hmm,
before. Whoever impregnates you, remember, you made that decision. If you do not vet
mm-hmm.
that man properly, if you just sip the Kool-Aid, if you didn't see through the BS, it is what it is, right? A guy like Lamar for me is a dusty.
Yeah,
He,
definitely
he,
does.
he he's a straight up dusty, and
This
it's
nigga said,
unrealistic.
I'll provide for her 80%. Like, what does that even mean? Like I mean, I get what it means, but like, bro, like when you start talking about this percentage shit, like you got to take the traditional stuff out of it because
Right.
that's not who you are. So you might as well say 50-50. You would make more sense to me saying 50-50 because you sound stupid. You're trying to be 100%, but
Yeah.
you don't make that kind of money.
Yeah.
So you're trying to give yourself like a little out, trying to be like, well, listen, if you meet somebody from Kendra G, she like, nigga, what happened? You're like, well, I said 80. You mean like, so don't look at me like I said 80. Like, nah, nigga, like you
That could
look
be
crazy.
true. My cousin said he heard that some of them get wives to have someone to help them with their businesses. Maybe is that what Yada Awakening doing? Dusty Awakening, he got all them wives so they can help him with his $1 million
Man,
businesses because he got that could be the case. But listen, true
right,
story. Because of this, like really quick, is somebody I don't associate with anymore, right? I don't want to put his name out there, but I don't talk to Boo no
right,
more. But he literally was a stay-at-home parent. Like he
right,
chose. He was getting a check. He was at
right.
home, but he'd be home all day not doing nothing. You know what I mean? He'd be blowing tree,
Right.
BSing, doing nothing. And he would expect his wife to come home who was working a full-time job, a good paying job too. You know what I mean? Like come home, she would still have to take care of the kids,
Right.
clean, cook. Mind you, he's been home all day. All day he's been home. And she would have to come home and still do all of that. Now, Whether or not she did it, that's another conversation. If she wanted
Yeah.
that deal, that's on her. But like, there are men like that who will be perfectly okay with being at home while their wife works full time, and then still expect them to come home and do all of their womanly
Right.
duties. And that for me is just that's exploitation. I don't know who
Yeah.
would ever take that deal. That's some
It's a
bullshit.
terrible
That's some
deal.
BS.
Yeah.
It's a horrible deal. So ladies, don't fall for that. Please don't
Yeah.
do that.
All right.
Yeah, this was
All right. So
interesting.
I got another Kendra G joint, right? So this one is a lady.
Yeah.
And
All right.
she actually went viral. I mean, this nigga should go viral too, for real. But she went viral. So let's
Oh man.
see why. Let's see why old girl went viral.
Okay.
Hey,
How you pronounce your name, baby?
Marley,
Marley. Marley, where you calling me from?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Where?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Okay. And how old are you?
39.
39. What you do for a living?
I'm a vice president of HR.
Vice president. Okay, vice president. Ooh, chat. You have any
Making
kids?
money.
I do. I have a 22-year-old daughter.
Okay. Have you ever been married, Marley?
No,
No. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus.
I hate that
What's
question.
your birthday?
May 6th.
Okay, I'm May 7th. We one day apart.
Yes.
Wait, no, I'm older than you. We one day in a couple years. All right, so we got Marley, Scottsdale, Arizona, 39, Taurus, vice president of HR, mom to a 22-year-old, never married. What kind of man you looking for?
Let's see.
A loyal man, one that is ready for commitment.
Okay.
I want to be married. One that understands what partnership looks like. A woman that comes to a relationship, I would say seasoned, right? I'm 39. I am not a young chicken. I want to be a wife. I want to nurture. I want to cater to my man who understands what that looks like, because that does come along with some requirements.
Okay, what requirements does that come along with?
So if I'm cooking and cleaning and I'm steaming underwear and I'm running bath waters, you would never have to ask me if I'm going to cook. You would never have to ask me to be a woman to do those things. I shouldn't ask you to take the trash out. I shouldn't ask you to be a
Fair.
man. I shouldn't have to ask
Fair.
you to provide and protect, because you would
Okay.
never ask me
All
to be
right.
a
All
woman.
right. All right.
Okay,
You
so
reaching.
provide as in he pays all the bills?
No, I think what works
Okay.
best for us in a relationship, I've done 50-50. I've had a man that was a provider. I think it's really the two individuals that's within that relationship
Okay,
can figure.
I like that.
so what are your deal breakers?
Men that have children under the age of 13. I don't really want young kids like that. My daughter's grown.
Okay.
Come over here for potential. I don't date
Right.
potential. So if you haven't
Amen.
figured life out by this point, I'm not the girl for you. I'm not going to help you build. I'm not going to help you become established. Come with something, because I'm coming with something.
Okay.
And I know it's not going to fare well with the
Okay.
comments.
Okay,
So
so
far,
she's
so
not
good.
gonna build you up. Be
Yeah,
already
yeah.
built.
Be
This ain't
Yes.
Legos. No, Legos. This ain't Legos. All right, should he look a certain way?
I definitely don't have a preference. I have typically dated big guys, defensive linemen, O-linemen. I'm a football girl. So
All right. By you mean professional football? Is she getting? But she deals with professional football players. Like, all right, I gotta check this out.
Maybe guys just built like linemen.
Oh, all right.
that's it. As long as I'm attracted to him, I could care less what the world
Okay.
thinks.
What about money? Should he make a certain amount
Oh
of money?
shit! Here we go.
Yes, at least 6 figures. He needs to be equally yoked. I'm a vice president. I have 4 degrees. So if that gives you any indication of where I sit, let's be equally yoked in that.
All right, pause it.
So make at least $100,000.
We got to take quick. Okay, so it's been good so far, but now we reached the income requirement.
Right.
6 figures, right?
Yeah.
Equally. Oh, that's it. We ain't gonna watch the rest of it.
No. I
You
just
made
wanted
it
to take
small.
that
I'm about
off.
to say. I still want to see what
Yeah,
else you got to say, because I'm
yeah,
sure.
no, I got the rest
it's-
pulled up. Yeah.
Equally yoked is so misused. That is a
Yeah, it is.
biblical scripture or reference that it has been misused so often, because
Right.
what they're talking about in the context of the Bible is people of different faiths. Like you got to be equally yoked in religion. You can't have a Muslim with a Buddhist. You can't have a Christian with a Hindu. You can't have. So when they discuss like equally yoked, it's like as far as like having the same faith. You guys have to practice the same faith. Like, but
Mhm.
more often I see women than I do men. I'm sure men do too, talking about equally yoked when it comes to income, when it comes to
Yeah.
education. Why are you using a biblical or why are you using scripture and changing the translation of the? I hate that term so much
Right.
when
Right.
it's used, bro. But six figures, what you think about, bro? She reaching, or do you think that's
I mean, I
reasonable?
think
Like,
okay, I understand why she wants it, right? Because women tend to want what they have or more. I get that, right? And she has that. But I think that when you start reaching for people in the six figures, you're reaching for a very small pool of people, right?
right,
And those
right.
those people in the six figures are wanted by you and every other woman, right?
Right, every woman, and yeah, every woman of age is
Every woman in the
coming
whole
for that
fucking
man.
world, bro. Like
Right,
like they if they can have what they want, they would all get six figure men.
right.
So that's a tough thing for her because it's like one, I'm wondering if her baby dad was a six figure man. I would doubt that. But
Right. Well, she said
um
one of them was a provider. She was like, she dated a 50-50 and she dated a man who was a provider, which was
right,
weird. Interesting is that neither of them at one either didn't propose or she rejected him,
right,
right?
right.
Details we don't know, but no, go ahead, bro. But yeah, but
Yeah, I mean it's everybody wants the six figure guy. And like I think it's tough. Like I think it's tough for a woman that's obviously she's not in the best of shape to just come out and say, yo, I want a six figure guy. Because a six figure guy can get you and most of the other chicks in the room too.
oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, we've talked about this before too. Like Ty, we've talked. So when men acquire resources and money and stuff like that, his options, his pool of his dating pool expands. When women acquire education and money and resources, their dating pool shrinks.
Mm,
Why is that? Because when women make money, they want someone who's equally yoked. He got to make as much as I do or more. When men make money, they don't care how much money Shorty makes. If she's fine as hell and we vibe, she could be the Shorty at Starbucks making my drink. If she is
right,
bad and she's friendly and I like what I see and what I'm feeling, that could be wifey, within the next couple years. But a woman
right.
who makes money and has education, they want someone who's equally yoked. And that's what makes it so much harder for women who are highly educated, who have these long careers, who are making six figures. Their dating pool shrinks. Now, I just want to be clear, Ty. We never say that women shouldn't get education, women
No,
shouldn't
no.
have careers. We're not saying any of that. What we are saying is that if you put your career ahead of other things, and you basically your prime is your 20s, but once you get to like 39, like Shorty here, and you got all these degrees and all, and now you're making all this money, and you're looking for a man who's making just as much as you do. Remember, men's dating pool expands as they make money.
Yeah,
Women's shrinks. Like Ty said, every woman wants that man making six figures or more. Not every woman, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if you could get
yeah.
a man with six figures, that would a shorty.
That's the idea.
If the
Yeah,
equivalent would be if a man could get a freaking model. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever he finds attractive. If he could get that, he would get it, right? But
And
but that,
and let me
yeah,
say this, and because we talk about this a lot, but I'll say like I don't look at it like when I'm like looking at a woman, I don't look at it in terms of okay, big versus small, right? Versus like
right,
how much money I have, right? Because I make pretty good money, right? But
right,
so but the only reason I talk about it in these terms where we're on a pod is because when women say this, they make it seem transactional. They're like, I want a guy making six figures. So if it's
right,
like, so if someone comes at me transactional, hey Ty, I want you because you make six figures. I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. What do I get in return?
right.
So that's so when I talk about it, that's what I mean. It's not like me saying like, oh no, I'm
Yeah,
not if I make six figures, so I don't want a thick chick or a fat chick or whatever. It's like,
yeah,
nah, like, and if it's organic, we chill, we vibe and all that, and it's like it's not
right,
about the money, that's a different thing for me. But she's
right.
straight up saying, and women in these dating shows, they straight up say, I want a six-figure guy.
I want a
So
six figure
if
guy.
you want me, if one of the reasons that you want me is because I make six figures, now I gotta get something in return.
Right. And that's what women often in these shows just they either don't acknowledge, they're oblivious to. Like you at this point, bro, we've been talking about this for everyone. Men have been talking about this in men's and male spaces for so long. Like if you don't already understand this, you're just
Mm,
either being intentionally ignorant or you're just living under a rock. You know what I'm saying? Like so we want to finish and give Shorty a chance to see what comes next. But like this is the part where I think it's gonna get juicy because he's asking for a man that makes six figures.
yeah,
But ladies, like I said, be careful because as you make more money, you guys want somebody who makes just as much money as you, and that man is highly valuable and highly sought after.
right.
So just be
All right,
just
let me finish it.
yeah.
Yes.
So if he made $70,000, should he reach out to you?
You know what?
You're thinking kind of hard about that. 70K ain't
Right.
bad, bruh.
I'm not gonna say it's
Yeah.
a disqualifying factor.
Okay.
What I am say is it's expensive to live life right now, and if we want to live life a certain kind of way with no excuses, it costs.
Okay.
So she
Fair
wants a
enough.
lifestyle.
Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
I just had knee surgery last week, so let's
Handicap?
Oh, you
Come
can't
on,
stand
Shorty, what you doing, man?
stand up.
Well, if you're in a
understand?
situation, I'll give you grace.
No. It's okay.
You gonna wheelchair up the
Not your
outfit?
knee
Like,
surgery. What happened?
I tore my meniscus.
Okay.
ooh.
How?
So let's see. So I'm limping.
Okay.
Okay.
You got that. You had that booty in our face for a second. All right. Okay. We see you, Mama. Marley, when was your last relationship?
About 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I think it was January.
January. Okay.
right.
They're telling me to ask, do you typically date men that make 100K?
Yes. I work in sports, so it's not I don't have a perfect.
I'm sorry, Kat. That's Kat. She does not typically make men and make it. She does not typically date men. Maybe she dated a guy or a dude, met her at a hotel room and banged her. She does not typically date men and make 100K. I'm calling Cap on this. This is Cap.
They all say they do, though. They
But-
all say they entertain and deal with men who are making six figures. Like, I'm like, these men
That's
are
cap.
rare.
Most
But-
guys,
Yeah.
Cap. It's Cap. But we can keep going. But she's capping.
Yeah,
of
why is she
men
single?
that I have access to. But what I learned as being a Black executive is you don't play where you.
I don't know if I agree with that because I tell women all the
Maybe she
time,
does
if
work
you
like in
around
sports.
these men, y'all need to lock it in because that's what the other
Right,
would be doing.
right.
The women who don't have the degrees, what they do is their degree is trying to get your coworker. And if you are a person who is surrounded by these 100K men, you need to have the mindset of the other women who there to get her husband. You need to get your
Right,
husband, girl, if you're
right.
around them all the time.
I think so. I think it's hard when you work with them. I mean, if you're in sports, you're with them 7 days a week. Sometimes they become family. They become brothers.
Well, you said,
and it's
no, but my question was, I asked you, did you date men, not work with them?
no.
True.
I thought you said that I dated men that made 100K.
Yes.
I go,
Yeah.
yes, I have.
So you have, okay, so then you have dated the men you work around with at times.
Well, yeah, I've only been in 2 relationships, one for 15 years and one for 3, and they both made 100K.
Okay. So, and were they co-workers?
So why didn't you
No.
marry
Oh,
them?
got you. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Hold,
all
pause
right.
it.
Did I ask you the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'm sorry, Ty. Yeah, she said she was intimate in January, so maybe like 6 months ago. That must have been the second relationship she had. But that we don't even know if we're gonna know if she's just out there, in the streets, because women say they single, but that doesn't mean that they're celibate, right? We know that.
Yeah,
now.
that doesn't mean.
And
Anytime
anytime a chick says she's single,
fucking for
I've
sure.
been single for 7 years. That don't mean she's
Yeah.
been celibate for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
now she's talking about wait, what did she just say? I was about to make something. She said something very interesting. Oh, she dated a dude for 15. How are you with someone for 15 years and don't lock it in?
Yeah.
Ladies, if you are trying to get married, a man knows if he wants to marry you almost immediately, right? It doesn't happen that quickly for everybody, but a man will know within a couple years. It don't take forever to man to know, be like, oh, that's wifey right there, right? And a man
Yeah.
who wants to find a wife is very intentional. If you're with a dude and he's stringing you along for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, that man don't want to
Right.
marry you. He does not want to marry you. You are wasting time, and time is extremely valuable for everybody, but especially for women because you have a biological clock. And as those
Right.
years go past, you're getting closer and closer to geriatric pregnancy. You're losing the prime of your youth. You know what I mean? Like your time is extremely valuable for women. Don't be with a
Right.
man who's gonna keep you, even if he keeps you engaged for like 10 years. You know what I mean? Do not do this, please. How you would do for 15 years and he ain't marry you? He must have not really wanted you. You see what I'm saying? Like it must have
Yeah.
been something that he was like, I'll keep her around, but I'm not gonna put a ring on her. There's something we don't
Right.
know about this woman, and it's
Right.
it's fishy.
Let me see what else you got to say.
All right.
Come on, you don't have to answer.
No, it's fine. It was in January.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
I would say my patience.
So you're
I'm
impatient.
a very
Okay.
giving person, and so I expect myself out of individuals. And once you don't show me that, I get
I
turned
expect
off
myself.
real quickly.
What?
I walk away. Um,
Yeah,
let's
probably
see.
because your box is
I
trash.
can be a little nonchalant. I guess I could. Sometimes I just like don't really speak up. I'll just again just walk away from situations without actually talking. Um, and I guess right now I've been intentional with dating. It has always been a focus to be a mother. Now my career, so being intentional about actually finding a husband could be a priority.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you, sweetie?
Yeah, why?
I mean, I feel like I'm an overall, all around good person. I definitely don't do drama. I'm not with the arguing. I'm compromising. I'm a girl. I'm a sports girl. I have a PS5. So I feel like I'm very relatable. And again, to know me is to love me. I've never met a stranger. I'm a caring, nurturing
never met
kind
a
of person.
stranger.
Sorry,
I
I'm
never heard that
nervous.
before.
I didn't got on your show, Lord Jesus. Um, you know,
Oh, great on paper. Why ain't you married?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think I come
seems
with all
cool.
the values that men look for, outside of the debate about being a plus size woman asking for six figures. I think that debate is crazy.
Wait,
Somebody said that.
what debate?
It's going on in the comments.
They
Being
roasted
plus
her in the
size
comments.
and
Not
being
playing, y'all.
40
Y'all
and asking
mean.
for someone who makes six figures. Like, why would a man who makes six figures want to date a girl that's plus size? I'm like, that debate is old. Like, pick another reason why a plus size woman
I don't
should
think it's old.
ask or require things out of men that she provides. Like, my weight doesn't dictate my worth. So let's stop it with
It doesn't.
Okay.
And that's not.
Okay.
It's not what we're saying.
My weight don't dictate my worth, but his money dictates his worth.
That's how it is, bro.
Like this is crazy. This is a crazy game. This is
female
dirty
logic,
work
bro.
that we do.
That's
Like
the
this
female
like
logic.
yo, like looks are currency for women.
Right.
Currency is currency for men.
Right.
So if all things being equal, you want some of his resources. Okay, he wants your beauty. So I'm sorry, like it just matters. It does matter. Like I said, it's
when we're talking
particularly
about six-figure men. I mean, men in general, but like we're talking about a man who's making over 100K. Keep that in mind, family. We're talking about a man who makes a lot of money, who's in the top 5% of earners, right? That's the kind of man we're talking about.
I don't think it's unreasonable if you're saying my requirement is for you to make enough money to where you at least make 100 grand a year at least. I don't think it's crazy for that person to say, oh, okay, this is a hard standard for you. A hard standard for me is, you fucking weigh 150 pounds. You weigh 130 pounds. Like, I don't think that's like, if you're going to make that a hard line standard, if she was like, oh, well, whatever, we can work on it. We can figure it out if we vibe, this and that. I wouldn't be saying this, but because she's demanding, when she said 70 grand, her face her face got screwed up.
Like, yeah, she had to think hard about the 70K,
like,
and 70K is still making more than 50% of America. Average salary in America is like 55, maybe. If you make over 55 in America, you're already making over half of the country, right? 70% will probably put you like in the top, maybe 75% of earners. Like, so I mean, it's not six figures, but like, damn, that's decent money if you guys are, if you ain't, So no. So I was wondering if it was gonna come up because we were talking about it right before, but this is so interesting. It's like, I don't know, like, so I'm trying to be careful because we've had this conversation so many times, but I want people to understand, like, we're not trying to like insult people or shame people. You know what I mean? We're just trying to understand, like, let people know, like, when you want something, that other person wants something as well. And if that other person is making six figures or is somebody who is highly sought after, he or she has the pick of the litter. You know what I mean? And money and education don't work the same as a man as for women.
Absolutely. No. And that's the thing, Joe. Listen, she makes 100 plus grand, right?
Yeah.
She wants a man make 100 plus grand, but she wants him to be a provider.
Right.
So her 100 plus grand is irrelevant.
Right.
Because she wants him to provide for her.
Right.
That's why it's not the same for men and women.
Yeah.
So it don't matter, because if you meet a millionaire, like if Kim Kardashian meets a guy, he's gonna have to be a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
And she's gonna want him to provide for her.
Right.
Even though she's a millionaire. So there is no benefit for that millionaire to be with her because she's a millionaire, because he's not going to get the benefit of her money.
Right.
So it doesn't matter either way. So it's just, so she's making 100 grand, but it's the same for this guy making 100 plus grand if she makes $0, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. My money is my money. Your money is our money.
So, but I just want to hear a few more. I'm sure niggas gonna roast her up in the comments. I just want to hear a little
They
bit more
better
of this,
not
and then
go
we can move
hard
on.
because she's been nice. She hasn't been like.
She seems cool. I don't think she's
really nice. Yeah,
she seems cool. She seems nice. She seems like, you know what I mean. She thinks kind of similar to what, you know what I mean, like the people that used to go on Kevin Samuel's show with Demand or whatever.
yeah.
But
She seems
I mean,
really
I
nice.
think I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, yo, you want my money. I want a nice body. I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah, she can't judge people for their
Weight
preferences.
comments. Like, let's be for real.
Okay, I was actually, it's hard for me to read the comments, so I didn't see those comments. But the comments are saying that because you're plus size, you shouldn't request a six-figure guy. Well, you said you dated six-figure men. Were you plus size then?
No, I gained a lot of weight over the last year since my original ACL injury. But regardless of like me being 50 pounds lighter into now, I'm the same person.
Well, that is a difference.
50 pounds is a big difference, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You're the same person, but
I look different.
The thing is, unfortunately, child. That's why I asked you, did you have those same men? So you gained 50 pounds since then. So you don't think that would be a hindrance at all?
No.
For the type of guy that you say you want.
I don't think so, because I mean, if you're only dating me or you're only going to marry me based because I look good in a bikini or I was 50 pounds with a body, what happens when, like what happened, an ACL tear, then a meniscus tear happens, you gain weight because you can't work out. What happens then? You going to leave me?
Hold on, pause.
I think we could be done with this, but I think you're about to say the same thing I'm about to say. So yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
So okay, so she's talking about what happens down the line, because she's saying a lot of bull, right? You gotta understand. Listen, if I've already selected you and we are married, that is completely different. You are entering the market looking for a husband. You ain't married yet. So if you get pregnant and have a couple kids and you gain 40, 50 pounds, I put that weight on. That's baby weight. That's my weight. You know what I mean? That's the weight that I put on you as a husband. I understand you might gain some weight. That's completely different from you going into the market 50 pounds heavier.
Right.
And talk about you got to take me as I am. No, shorty. You got to get that man first.
Take me as I am.
Put that time in with that man. And then when life happens, because he's already invested in you initially, excuse me, I can't speak
initially.
Right now. Because he's already invested in you, he'll ride out with you because he already fell in love with you. He selected you. He picked you. It is a completely different vibe when a man already has a wife and life happens. But you're entering the market this way. You got a messed up meniscus. We don't know how fast it's going to heal. You got an extra weight on you, which means it might take a little bit longer. It might be inflamed.
She ain't losing that weight,
something
bro.
like that.
She's not losing that weight, bro.
But and this is what. All right, so I got more to say, but go ahead, Ty.
Right.
What was you about to say?
What I was going to say is simple. I thought she was going to say the simple thing. What I was about to say. All right, so. So when life happens to you, you want me to deal with it, right? Like, oh, okay. She said, if you only want to deal with me because I look good in bikini, that's fucked up. Like that's shallow of you. Okay, cool. Your fucking requirement out the gate is for me to make $100,000. Is that also not equally shallow?
Right.
So okay. So let's say we get into this relationship and life happens to me. My $100,000 turns into 50. Will you fucking leave me?
Right. Because she's working around men who make six figures. So she might, see somebody else and be like, well, damn, this linebacker's making six figures. Maybe I got to jump on that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
so no, absolutely no.
And I'm with you. And this is what we try to say for people who are marriage minded, right? People who are looking to be married, because that's what she wants. She came on saying, I'm looking to be married. It is a competition. There are more women than there are men. And if you want a man who wants you, who's heterosexual, a certain race, like I said, when you get more pickier with what the kind of man you want, his race, his height, his body type, his income, that number shrinks even more, right? For whatever you want. But there are always more women for men. We said it before. If every woman in America got married, there would still be millions of women. I'm sorry, if every man found a wife in America and got married, there would still be millions of women who would not have a husband. There just aren't enough men to get married to. So marriage, and honestly, is a competition. That's why Kendra G was telling her, like, well, why wasn't you trying to get one of the men you were working around? Why didn't you bag one of them? Because the chicks who don't have degrees, the chick who's working front desk receptionist is in the gym, keeping that body tight, keeping it staying in her feminine energy, flirting with the linebackers, flirting with the CEOs, going to the yachts. Right. You know what I mean? She ain't got degrees. You don't need a degree to get on a yacht.
Yeah. No, you don't
see
need
what I'm saying?
Degree.
They know the game, which is like, if I want one of these men here, I got to be the trophy. I got to be a trophy wife. I got to be the eye candy. They make money. They call the shots. They're surrounded by beautiful women. It is a competition. So for you
Yeah.
to come into the market at 39, which is already geriatric pregnancy, which means that if you want to have another kid, you might not even be able to because of your age and because of your weight. It could really compromise her health, right?
Yeah.
So you can't even offer any more kids. So you got to find a man who's okay with not wanting kids. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a lot to negotiate about. But what frustrates me is that they think that why I gotta settle. I hate
Oh
this
yeah.
word when women say that.
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
I have to
hate that
settle
shit
for a
too.
man
Yeah.
making less? When a wife makes less than her husband, men don't feel like we're settling.
Right.
That word does not come out of our mouth. That is not in our
Right.
vocabulary, bro. When I
No,
first
yeah.
met my wife and she came to California, she came to Philly from Cali. She ain't have a job. She was looking for work. She was using my car to go to work. She used my car to do Lyft and Uber for a little bit. She had a job that wasn't really paying her, but it was just commission, and I was paying. I was
Right.
covering everything. And you know what? You know what thought never ever crossed my mind? This broke, dusty ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never stopped
Right.
and looked at
Right.
her and was like, "You broke ass. Go make some fucking money." No, I just
Right.
thought, well, if I got it, it's ours now.
So,
You're my
yeah.
wife. I picked you. We're trying to build. My car is your
Right.
car. You see what I'm saying? That's how I feel like
Yeah.
a man would think. But
Yeah.
women, if
So
it was the opposite way, she would have
right.
been looking
They
at
ain't
me.
thinking
Not
that
her,
shit.
but
No.
hypothetically,
Not her.
this
But
broke
yeah.
ass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
it's just
so
different.
a friend of mine had so we was talking about a conversation like this, right? And a friend of mine was like this. He had this line. He was like, "Yo, I hate when when women say they settle and shit." Just like you just said, right? I hate women say I'm not settling. He was like, "Listen, if you go into Walmart and you got $50, but the TV is $100, you gotta buy the TV you want is $100. You only got 50. You gotta go buy the $50 TV. You're not settling for the TV. That's just the TV you can afford."
That's such a good way of putting it.
So,
That's such a good way. Was that Larry?
That was Larry. That was Larry.
Yo, Larry be spitting some shit, bro. Larry,
Larry.
when you coming on the pod, bro? No, Larry, we gotta get him on the
That was
pod,
Larry.
bro, for real.
He was like, "Yo, that's just the one you could afford." He like you're not
Yeah.
settling for the $50 TV. You can't afford the $100.
You can't afford a $100 one, but then you're gonna buy the 50 and just be mad every time you watch the TV.
Right.
Like,
You
like how does
dumbass
that work?
TV. You dumbass.
Like, fucking cheap ass TV. How you gonna buy? Like,
I hate your guts TV. Like what?
that's why I get frustrated when I hear settle. So I gotta settle for it. No,
Right.
shorty, you're not settling.
Yeah.
Our attractions are not symmetrical. What
Yeah.
men find attractive and what they find
Yeah.
desirable is not the same as what women want. It doesn't
Yeah.
work the same way. And no matter how hard you guys try to rationalize it, it doesn't matter. We're telling y'all. It doesn't work. So like I said, she's entering the market and she's saying life happens. What if
Yeah.
it's different? If I married you and you was bad as shit when I first met you and you was at that,
Yeah.
and then things changed after that, it is what it is. My wife
Right.
gained weight when she got pregnant. I wasn't mad at her. I was just like, we gonna work on get it down. But I was patient. I wasn't like on her ass about it. I'm like, it's okay, baby. I put that weight on you.
Right.
Like we had a child. Like, you know what I mean? It's different. So, but if she had been like 50 pounds heavier when I first met her, I would have been like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like it might have been a little bit different.
Right.
Like it's just a different conversation to have. I'm talking hypothetically, of course, but
Right.
it's just
Hypothetically, yeah.
different, bro. It's just different. So I
I
hope
feel
she
you, I
finds
feel
what
you.
she wants. She gonna have to find either a dude who's built, probably a dude with kids. They can't
Yeah.
be younger than 13, and a
He
dude.
ain't making it 100 grand though. He's not
He
making 100
could
grand.
find a big. He could find a big husky dude who, like, you know what I mean, likes says. Well, she could, but what are the chances?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
They were very slim.
Yeah.
So this was interesting. I hope she gets what she's
Right.
looking for. I hope so, and I hope
All
that
right, so
knee
let's
heals up.
I hope the knee heals up. All right, let's switch gears. So I got some Philly news now.
All right, let's bring it to Philly. We've been trying to do more Philly news, family, because we are from Philly, but lately Philly news has just been nothing but gun violence.
Yeah,
It's
well,
sad. Like
This
Philly's
might
out
make you
of
sad
pocket.
too, then. But
Well, then I guess
we ain't got no choice.
I guess it's inevitable, yeah, because Philly's been the gun violence has been
right.
crazy.
All right, I'm gonna play this.
Damn, just when we talked about it too.
If you recognize two kids here, and they're wanted in a rash of carjackings at gunpoint. Police say the younger suspect appears to be just 10 years old. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Sheba
10
Roth.
years old.
The pair are accused of holding up at least 4 victims. Our Jennifer Joyce has details from police headquarters.
Where?
Central detectives and the Major Crimes Carjacking Task Force are handling this investigation. It's a concerning pattern of 4 carjackings at gunpoint by 2 kids. Do you recognize these young faces? Philadelphia police released this surveillance video of the pair wanted in connection to 4 gunpoint robbery carjackings in the last week and a half. One is roughly 17 years old and the other just 10 or 12.
It's super crazy to me because I teach 5th grade, so that is their age group. And it's like, you are a literal baby.
Chanel Washington of West Philly is apartment shopping near 20th and Girard, where the most recent carjacking happened.
20th
Police
and
say
Girard.
just at 6 a.m. last Thursday, a 74-year-old woman was walking to her car when the two males armed with a gun approached, knocked her to the ground, then grabbed her keys and wallet.
That's not fair to anybody. People are already on edge and making sure that like they're trying to be as safe as they can, and then you're minding your business at 6 a.m, walk into your car, and then something like that happens.
I really don't fear walking around here, but like I can't say that for everyone.
I try to avoid walking around by myself, just have common sense.
The carjacking spree began on Friday, August 16th on the 1000 block of Girard. Philly police say the armed suspects walked up to a victim standing outside of his car and took off with it. Another carjacking happened on the 1300 block of West Cumberland Street in North Philly, and the fourth occurred on the 1300 block of West Ontario, right after the suspects crashed the car they had stolen 3 days earlier, according to police. In both of those cases, the victims were sitting inside of their cars early in the morning when the juveniles approached with a gun.
I am from Buffalo originally, and like I don't know what is in the water in Philadelphia, but the kids here are just like absolutely insane. It makes me wonder what's going on in America where the parents can't be parents anymore.
If you recognize the pair in the surveillance video, or if you have any information about these crimes, police want to hear from you. You are encouraged to contact Central Detectives at 215-686-3047. Reporting for Fox 29 News.
Yeah, so I know you didn't really want to talk about any
No, it's
depressing
okay.
Philly news,
It's
but
okay, bro. We got
yeah.
to talk about it too, because this is so. I mean, there's a curfew in Philly, right, for people for minors, and it's still going on now. There's a gas station close to where I live now that has a sign up that says if you see any kids underneath the age or like under of age, like past 9, we're gonna be calling the cops. Like there's a curfew right now because there are young kids who are out with no adult supervision. We
Right.
did a video and we haven't uploaded yet, but I will now that I'm thinking about it. Remember the robberies around Temple? Now they were saying that fortunately crime has dipped around Temple's campus, but there have been robberies around Temple from younger kids, groups of younger kids robbing
Right.
students or people walking around Temple's neighborhood. And
Yeah.
now we got young kids armed, one as little as 10. Remember the shooting that happened at Northeast High School months ago where 8 kids were shot.
Right.
The kid who orchestrated it was 15 years old. So these are teenagers
Yeah.
who are armed, and they may or may not be in gangs, but with other friends who are, bro, like it's out of pocket, bro. Philly has changed so much. I can't even open up ABC News or NBC News channel because everything is 3 shot in West Philly, 2 shot
Right.
in South Philly,
Right.
8
Right.
shot. You know what I mean? Like it's everywhere,
Yeah.
bro. But go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Your cousin put a comment on it. He said, "Fathers ain't around. Mothers too busy being city girls."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because I agree with you on that. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of these, and we're talking. So I hate getting into like the racial aspect because then I feel like there are people who are gonna listen to this and then like feed their racism or their bigotry, or
Yeah.
others who are
Yeah.
gonna continue. But we got to, But if we could just really quickly, zoom in on our demographic, right? Like, what is going on, man? Like, it's gotten to the point where, like, if there's a group of them with hoodies on, cursing, and like, I already anticipate some bullshit's gonna happen, and I
Yeah.
hate that feeling because I feel like I'm that old guy who's like judging these young kids now. But bro, these young kids are
Yeah.
out of pocket, bro.
They are out of pocket, bro. They are out
These
of
young kids
pocket.
are out of pocket. There's a Did you see that teacher in Philly? Was it in Philly? I forgot where it was. The student punched her eye out her eye socket.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, bro? Like
Yeah.
that's somebody's mom, that's somebody's sister. So
Yeah.
I want to keep it to the focus of the clip, of course, but like the young people in Philly are insane, bro.
Bro, let me say this. The curfew thing I think that needs to be, it's legit. It need to be. I didn't know until the last time we talked about this that it was actually a curfew in Philly. I had no idea. That's
They
crazy.
had to do it. They had to
That's
do
crazy. And that they should, right? But my thing
Right.
is this. Obviously, these kids are minors, right? Whatever punishment, the worst punishment you can give to them, you need to give to them, right? But I think you need to lock the parents up, bro. Whoever the primary parent is, bro, you gotta lock, because how the hell don't you know your 10-year-old and your 17-year-old aren't in a house?
Yeah.
Or either you don't know, or you know and you don't care.
Right.
That's negligence on your part. You know your 10-year-old a fucking monster, You know your 17-year-old is an animal. As soon as they go out there, they just gonna terrorize the streets. We need to lock you up for negligence.
This is more common than we think so too, bro. I just had no BS. My one of my stepfather's daughters, he was living with her and she was living with him because she got kicked out. DHS took her kids. She's trying to get them back. But he gave her a place to live in for a while she was trying to get her feet off the ground. But she would come there with her kids. She has 3 kids. She would leave them there. Say she would go wash clothes. She would leave for 3 or 4 days at a time, bro. Her kids are like 15, 10, 11. She would leave for days at a time. Not message her father at all, not let her know where she is. Just leave them kids alone. They'd be alone all day. They would be at the park odd hours of the night. And this is in Zombieland. So this is in, this is in that area. And there are parents who would just drop their kids off and just dip for days at a time, bro. And think that their kids are going to be okay. So this is more common than we think, man. There are parents out there who just let their kids just roam free through the streets. And it's sad, bro.
Yo, they need to pass some legislation to where the parents get in trouble, bro. The parents go to fuck to jail, whatever that, like, listen, like, because if the parents know that they got to be on top of their badass fucking kids, they'll take more pride, more responsibility at the very least. Even if they don't care about the kid, because your cousin mentioned that, maybe they don't care. Even if they don't care about the kid, they'll be like, hey, you know what, I don't want to get locked the fuck up, so let me do something. Let me keep his ass. Let me chain him in the basement, feed him fish heads, something, as long as other people aren't getting they heads knocked in.
Well, here's and listen, I completely understand the sentiment, right, of why that would be like a kind of why you would suggest maybe we should lock them up. But here's the thing, that doesn't solve the problem though, because then you lock the parents up, and now these kids are going to be either put into foster care or into the system, or they're just not going to have parents or living with grand, and then it's not going to, and then it doesn't solve the problem. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're going anyway. I think that 10-year-old and that 7, they're lost, bro. Like they're too far gone. They're robbing people at gunpoint at 10 and 17.
I know.
Like they're not going to turn around and be successful, productive members of society. That's a wrap. Like that's gone already.
Maybe they can be the next president or
listen.
The mayor.
They should be given up on. Like if it crosses your, listen, bro. I listened to rap music my whole life. I loved it. I played video games and all that. Bro, at no point in my life since I was 8, started listening to rap music until I'm 36 now. It never crossed my mind to be like, let me grab a gun and go rob some 74-year-old lady.
Right.
No, bro. Like it don't, and it's not an age thing. No. You know that's wrong.
Right. And you still did it.
So no, I think those people. So take their mom away, put them in the system. Whatever's gonna happen, it's only gonna get worse for them. It don't matter. It don't matter where they at. Like
no, absolutely, bro. And
because it's not working. It's not working. Day home. It's not working anyway.
I just don't know how to fix this, bro. Like I mean, I don't know how we fix this problem, because I feel like it's gonna take a couple generations, right? I feel like we talked about this too. Like it started like in the 80s and the 90s. Like the crack epidemic hit, destroyed a lot of families. Then we had these teen moms in the 90s who were babies having babies, and then their babies started having babies at a young age. So now we got then we removed shame and judgment. Then we have these single parent households. Then we have all these kids out of wedlock. And now we have all this ratchet culture that's been brought to the mainstream and glorified, the sexy red, all that BS, the EBT awards that came a few months ago that we saw. It's the EBT awards, bro. I ain't calling it BT no more. So like, how do we fix this? And it's going to take generations, and the things aren't only going to get worse until they get better, right? And I don't want to say too much about the episode we recorded about the Temple one, because I want to upload that one soon now that we talked about this. But remember the example I told you? When I was young, I used to hate it at the time, but there was always a certain time when my grandparents would call my name and say, it's time to come inside. They would not leave me outside after a certain time. And I never understood it as a kid. But now that I'm older and I realize, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful they gave you a curfew. I'm thankful I wasn't in the streets at night without anybody supervising me, because I don't know what I would have gotten into or what would have happened to me, bro. So parents got to be parents, bro. Like parenting is a full-time job, but you got to do it. Otherwise, society suffers. That's bro.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna make this quick, right? Because I think we gotta get on to the next one. Because we kind of whatever. But when I think about parents as a father now, right? Because I wasn't raised by my mom or dad, right? My grandma raised me, right? And the reason I wasn't raised by my mom or dad is because they felt like, it was better or whatever to go out and have fun, go party, go make other babies, go do other stuff, right? Not with each other, but they did it separately, right?
Right.
And that's kind of what it was, right? They thought that, like, I'm gonna give these kids to my mom and go dip out and go have fun. And as a father, I could say like, like, I think that decision is crazy to make, right? But I understand the logic behind it. right? And that sounds crazy to say, right? But it's like as a father, so it's like check it this way: like when you have a kid and you're involved in your kid's life, you know your needs come second, at least until this motherfucker is able to start making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich by themselves, right? So that's probably like 8, 9. That's probably like 8 years, right? Like, because not even because I got an 8-year-old now. Motherfucker came in over. So let's say 9, 10 years, right?
Right.
So that's like 9, 10 years. Your social life, everything else you got to do is put on the back burner because you got to take care of this individual that you brought into the world, right? And I think most people don't want to, like, I'm not gonna say most people who decide not to take care of their kids, they come to that decision and they're like, yo, this is too hard. Like, I would rather, not take care of this kid and go live my life and pawn this kid off somebody else.
And that's so messed up, bro, because kids feel that energy. They have a void. They have daddy issues, mommy issues with neglect, issues with self-worth. You know what I mean? Then if grandma is like too old to like really take care for them, they pretty much take care of themselves and they roam the streets and they get into stuff. Like, I'm not saying all grandparents are bad parents, but like, bro, they're older. You know what I mean? They didn't live their lives. Now they're trying to raise somebody else's kids who already come with dysfunction because clearly the parents are dysfunctional. So the kids gonna come dysfunctional. And no, it's sad, bro. It's sad. Parenting is a full-time job, and we always tell people like, yeah, I respect people who don't have kids when they're not ready. They're like, listen, I don't want to have a kid yet. I respect the person who says I can't afford them. I'm not ready for them, so I'm going to wait. As opposed to those who are like, I want to be a mom, I want to be a dad. They jump into the shit, and then they realize I can't do this. It's a full-time job, y'all. It is a full-time job.
You're not going to sleep.
Is.
You're going to be annoyed every fucking day. You get no time to chill. Don't get me wrong. It's not all bad. I'm not saying it's all bad.
We're not saying it's all bad. We're just saying like, we don't want to. Yeah, I love being a parent. Like, I love it. You know what I mean?
Me too. But it comes with its drawbacks, job. Right? Like
absolutely.
Like what you want to do isn't the most important thing anymore, and that's hard for people to deal with. But,
absolutely.
Let me share the next joint. I think the next joint, you and your cousin, I think this gonna be an interesting clip. It's a Dr. Umar Johnson joint. And sometimes he's hit or miss with me. He's hit or miss with me. So I think this one was interesting. Umar,
bro.
So let me pull this up, and I want y'all opinion on this.
All right. That's a good point though, because kids in sports are after school programs. Yeah. Oh boy. Stay focused, brothers.
Black people in America never get anything when they vote.
Oh.
So how do they motivate us to vote if we never get nothing when we do?
Right.
Fear.
Oh.
Black people are the only constituency in this country who vote out of fear. In other words, I'm not voting to stop police brutality because they're not going to stop it. I'm not voting to change mass incarceration and not going to change it. I'm not voting to fix the schools. They're never going to fix them. So what you voting for? Because I'm afraid of what Trump might do. You see that? That's how we vote. Fear. Mm-hmm. Now, when the Jews go to the polls, when the Latinos go to the polls, when the Arabs, the East Indians, the Anglo-Saxons go to the polls, they're going for concessions. I'm getting something out of this vote. I'm getting something that we already agreed upon before Election Day. Black people are getting nothing. We vote out of fear. Our motivation is fear. Joe Biden may do nothing for you, but Donald Trump will be worse. See how that works? This is how they get us out. The black man is the only one in the voting line voting.
Oh, that's it? Damn, I thought he.
It was only a minute, John. It was only a minute, John. But he was cooking.
All right. I mean, bro, what is there to say, bro? It's facts.
Yeah, it is facts.
It's facts, bro.
Facts.
That's all they have for us. It's just to vote out of fear. That's all they got for us. Donald Trump's going to take away your right to have abortions. Donald Trump is going to, we already said, put you on a death panel. Donald Trump is about to bring back slavery. Donald Trump is about to, like, that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I could say
no. I mean, what he said was real. I mean, you and I have talked about this on the pod before, but what he said was real, and that's how the Democrats get us out the vote. Like, so for as long as I've been alive, right? The first election, actually, even before then, when George W. Bush was president, when he beat Al Gore, right? They said, they said the Republican, who was a Republican? He beat out, it was George Bush. He was supposed to be, he was supposed to, like, be this super racist and it was gonna be terrible for black people. And McCain was the same way when Obama beat him. He was supposed to be like this ridiculous racist, and he was going to bring back Jim Crow and all this shit. Like, and like, yo, bro, they say it every single election, and they say, yo, vote or die, right? Like that campaign with Diddy and all the vote or die. Oh yeah, like
vote or die.
Yo, all they do is try to scare us every single election. So now they're scaring us again because now they're saying, oh well, if Trump wins, democracy will end. Your cousin mentioned it. If my favorite is democracy will end. So basically, if Trump wins, he's going to change everything in the world, right? And he's going to change everything in America. He's going to become a king, right? And then he's going to be, on the Iron Throne, and his family will be the Targaryens, I guess, and they'll have people taking over and changing laws. And guess what? You think you're gonna have like regular meals when Donald Trump is president? No. He's gonna come into your house that you just bought, go in your refrigerator, take all the food, take you, your pretty wife, your 2 daughters, take y'all to the slave fields, and y'all gonna be picking cotton. If Donald Trump wins, Joe, that's your future, bro.
It's always out of fear, bro. Fathers,
it's so nonsensical.
Right?
I hate this shit, yo. I hate it.
I hate it too. I hate it too. And like Umar didn't even have to say it for us to. We've been saying this in so many different ways. Like, bro,
we've been saying
they want us to vote out of fear. I even said in that panel we had with all the ladies, I think last month, and I was just like, yo, stop voting out of fear. That vote blue no matter who is feel good. Don't do that. That's part of the reason why we got where we are now, because y'all kept voting blue no matter who, and we got nothing out of it. We got nothing out of it.
But Joe, do they not see that every election is the same? Like just pick any Democrat that won. The knock on the Republican was they were racist. They're gonna basically make things worse for black people in some way.
Right.
That's what they say every single election. Yep. McCain, Mitt Romney, George W. Bush. Bush became president. I didn't become a slave. You mean like Trump was president? I wasn't a slave.
Right.
Like they're like I don't get this, bro. I get it.
I don't get it either.
But what I don't get is how it works. It's like all black people every 4 years. The 4th year, we all go through like Men in Black syndrome. Like it's like we all get the flash and hit in front of us, and we forget that we voted out of fear last time, and then we're like, oh shit, now I remember. Now it's fear again. It's like, nigga, it was fear 4 years ago. Like, well, it wasn't really fear. Yeah. It was like something else. No, nigga, it was fear. They made you scared. Listen to Roland Martin. Roland Martin's a smart ass dude. Roland Martin talking about something. Well, if Trump win, boy, man, oh man, you're gonna be eating chitlins. You're gonna be eating chitlins for 4 years. Like, nigga, no, I'm not.
His colors have really shown. But a lot of people have come out of the woodwork, and I'm like, yo, and now they're trying so hard to get celebrities to vote for the Democrats now. Like they're paying people bread to come out and endorse Kamala. That's how bad they want the black vote. That's how bad they're going. Like, they already got not the Migos. They got what's this dude's name? They got Quavo out there talking for him. They got DL Hughley out there talking for him. They got Meg Thee Stallion twerking at rallies for him. Like, they try and go so hard for our vote, bro, but not offering anything up in policy. And all they can keep saying is Trump is bad, and you guys want to keep your abortions. That's all I keep hearing from the Democrats, bro.
Right.
That's all I hear from the Democratic side, bro. So
he's gonna end democracy. How the fuck he gonna end democracy? How is he gonna end democracy?
Yeah.
In what way? How?
Yeah. I mean, unless
and if he wanted to end democracy, why didn't he do it last time? He was president before.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't do it his last term. He could have. I'm pretty sure he could have did. Yeah, it's BS, bro. But that's why somebody in the comments, I don't know if you saw recently, was just like, we shouldn't be asking for a black agenda. We should be trying to make everybody's lives better. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you saw the comment, and she never responded to me. But I told her, listen, you're right. Every American needs help, needs support. Every American needs relief. As America as a whole, we all need our food to be cheaper, our gas to be cheaper, our wages to be higher. We need inflation to go down. We all need that. But if we're talking about black votes, like, how dare you enter this conversation and say we're not allowed to have this conversation? We are allowed to have this conversation.
Right.
We are, like, you know what I mean? Like, people who come and be like, no, everybody. No, we're not talking to you. We're talking about black people right now. Step to the side. Let us have that
because different groups of people get shit, right? Like the Asians got shit. They got
the Asians got the Asian hate crime bill. The immigrant community, Latinos got the DACA, the Dream Act. They got stuff with immigration coming. Like, every other group has something. The Jewish people
Speaking of, there's a voter block that can't even vote yet. That's getting some shit. Matter of fact, let me pull this up right now because this shit making its new rounds on the news right now. I don't even know if you ever heard of this shit yet. Pull this shit up right now. Make this shit.
Cali's trying to give immigrants
I was just about to bring that up.
That's what you're bringing up.
Let me pull that right up.
This is why it pisses me off. People say we can't talk about things for the black community. Look, here you go. Look.
New bill that would grant illegal immigrants easy access to home.
Which is real news, family.
California's Dream for All program provides loans to first-time homebuyers to cover expensive down payments. But now a state Senate committee has unanimously voted to open up the taxpayer-funded program to all prospective homebuyers, regardless of immigration status. Now, the bill next goes to the full state Senate, and this isn't just happening in California, by the way. A taxpayer-funded group in Oregon is offering up to $30,000 for first-time homebuyers. The catch, it's not even open to United States citizens, only migrants. Kevin, is this good for business?
No. In fact, average salary in America is $68,000. Down payments, $20,000 to $30,000. If I were a tax-paying American citizen listening to us right now, I would be really pissed off. And I mean, this is more Gavin Newsom stuff. I have been an open critic of his policies in terms of what it's done to California. It's turning it into an economic dumpster fire. This policy makes no sense. I call it un-American. You're an American paying taxes and you don't get the same free money. I mean, who would even propose that? That's such a stupid idea. I can't believe it. If that passes, that's just more insanity in California.
Do you think he's going to sign it though, Kevin? Because I'm questioning whether or not he will. I mean, they've got a $45 billion budget deficit right now in California. I'm wondering if the budget hawks are going to say, wait a minute, Gavin, back up.
I think the reason Newsom was not considered for a presidency role in this last round is he owns the dumpster fire called California. And if you proposed him to run this country the way he runs California, not all of us want to live in a dumpster fire. And so I think he has to fix California, and that's not how you start. All
right. So let me.
And this is real. They haven't passed it yet, but it definitely made it up. Like it was created. It went to it went up a couple. It was pushed forward, right? But it hasn't been passed yet. But the legislation was successfully pushed forward. So it's getting to the point where they could actually vote on it and sign it into law, where immigrants are getting loans on houses now, bro. Now remember, California is also the state that spent billions of tax dollars to try to address homelessness, and yet there's no difference in homelessness. Right. Nothing at all. It did nothing. You don't know where those billions of dollars went. You know what I'm saying? So and we can't get, this is, we are allowed to ask for things. We are allowed to have this conversation. Sorry, family. If it upsets y'all, tune out of this section of the video. We talk about a lot of different issues, but it is okay for the black community to ask for things that we want. A black agenda. You want my vote? What are we getting? It is okay for us to have that conversation. We will talk about America as a whole, but don't butt in here and tell us, well, everybody, no, shut up. Let us talk. And then when we're done with that, you know what I mean? But we get to have this conversation because other groups are getting stuff. Even the Jewish people right now, especially the Zionists, they're getting a lot of that from that AIPAC money, what AIPAC is doing and everything that they're doing to support the Israel war going on right now with Iran and all that. Everybody's getting something, bro. But us, we're getting fear.
No, 100%,
we're getting
100%.
Fear.
But this shit right here, giving migrants, people who shouldn't be here anyway. Listen, I mentioned this before. I work for the Social Security office, right? And so there are sometimes people come in and they come to the country. Let's say normally it's Mexicans, right? So Mexicans come to the country illegal, right? But they're pregnant. So they have a baby. They're born in an American hospital and they get a Social Security number and all that automatically, right? So their kid has a Social Security number. Their son or daughter has a Social Security number, but they themselves don't, right? So they come into the office and they're like, hey, I want to apply for benefits for my kid, blah, blah, blah. And I'm always stunned by that because I'm like, you're going into a government office trying to get money and you shouldn't be there anyway. So I'm always tripping. If I'm like, bro, if this is me, I'm like, yo, y'all motherfuckers should probably not go in there because I would think that I would get cops calling me and put in the back of a car and have my ass driven back to Mexico. But they be super comfortable coming in there like, no, I ain't got no Social Security number, but my daughter does, and I want to apply for benefits. And I'll be sitting there like, what the fuck? So this right here is just like a crazier version of that. Like you could come in here illegally and get a fucking free house. Potentially, if this passes, you get a free house. Come in here, get a free house. There's a mad homeless people, veterans, right? I mean, black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people. There are many people here that pay taxes. If I think a bare minimum to get one of these kind of programs should be you got to pay taxes. That needs to be like the bare minimum requirement, nigga. You got to be a taxpaying citizen.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think that should be a requirement too, bro. Yeah, this is insane, bro. This is why when people butt in and say we can't ask for things, it's like, no, bro, they're giving stuff to people who aren't even Americans for free. We get to ask for something. We get to ask for something, bro. America, like America first, bro. I've been saying it's crazy because I hold that dear to my heart now, and I never thought I'd
Right.
be saying that phrase over and over. But real, America first, man. We need help. We need relief. When you go to the voting booth, family, don't vote out of fear. Vote for the person that you genuinely think is going to make the party better. I don't think any party is, but hey, that's just me. But yo, just don't. I don't know, man. I hate. This election is going to be so interesting, bro.
Have you heard? Have you and your cousin heard? Have y'all heard that the like Venezuela is like safer than it's been in like 30 years or something like that?
Is the economy gotten better because they were dealing with some crazy inflation?
What the economy I'm not sure about, but I know like as far as crime goes, like murders went down like 30% because the what the news is reporting. I've seen in a couple news stations is that they like let people out of jail and those people kind of migrated to the U.S.
Oh.
Yo, like they're look it up. There are several states that are dealing with like organized gang migrants.
Yeah, no, I've heard about that. Like there was like places in Arizona where like migrants are like taking over hotels and like properties with like for their armed gangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro. But when you let in people without checking
and in
where
New
they're
York,
coming, yeah.
and in New York, when those people get like caught and like they get caught doing stuff, they can't deport them. They just got to let them go eventually. So Mayor Adams was talking about this. He was like, yo, we need to make some kind of change because typically in another state, they could if a migrant gets caught for doing something, let's say, I don't know, armed robbery or something like that, they give them the ICE. ICE send their ass back home. But because New York is a sanctuary city, they just kind of like be like, all right, guys, don't do that shit no more. You know, don't rob that lady no more and knock her all her teeth out. Get out of here. You get going, kid. Like, and they just go home. Like,
man, this is gonna be quite the election.
It's
bro.
bad, bro.
I don't know. I
It's
hope
bad.
the debate still happens. I know Trump was saying, well, I'm not Trump, but they switched some rule about the mics being hot or something like that. So now Trump's like,
Right.
I don't know why they're changing the rule. I really want them to have a debate. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw
we
the
should
CNN.
we should go live. We should go live with that.
I hope it's a good one. This one should be good. I thought that the one between him and Biden was going to be good, but it was kind of a snooze fest. And if anything,
Yeah,
it was
we
more.
we
It was
ended that shit
sad more than
early.
anything else.
Yeah, it was pretty
I hope
sad,
this was
yeah.
good. If you guys didn't catch, you might not have to. You didn't miss much. Kamala did her first interview with the press. Of course, it was edited. It was pre-recorded, so they edited it out, and it was still 18 minutes full of BS. Watch
bad.
it,
It was bad
deflecting
too, bro.
questions,
It was
not
bad.
answering things
Yeah.
directly. It was sad. Yeah, this is. I'm just not excited about this election, bro.
Bro,
I'm just not.
do you remember a presidential candidate having to be on with their vice president to accept an interview?
She's scared,
Like
bro.
I don't remember Biden, Obama, Trump, McCain, like any of the motherfuckers like being like, all right, I'll do an interview if my buddy can sit with me.
Right.
Like, what is this? Like, what is this fucking summer camp? Like, what's
Lord
going on
have
here?
mercy,
Like,
bro. Lord have mercy. This is a trip. Well, listen, family. What do you? I mean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Black people, all they have is fear to vote for, right? And we need relief, man. We keep saying that every time we talk about politics. We just get so sad and frustrated over the situation. So
Yeah.
vote for who you want, but just make sure you're voting for your best economic interests, whatever that may be. Put that first. So. But with that said, Ty, how you feeling, Brody? I think we got some good content
I think
tonight,
we good
bruh.
to go. I think we good to go. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's enjoy the rest of our night. Listen, I got to make myself another zinger. And yeah.
All right, well, listen, it's been good. It's been real, Ty. We'll be active next week too, family. So stay on the page, like, subscribe. We've been in transition, but we're still on the move. We're still here. We appreciate that the subs are still going up. We want them to go up quicker,
Yeah.
but we got to do more work and switch things up and make things more exciting. So
Yeah.
we're gonna work on that too. But we still appreciate the love that you guys have shown so far. So that's all I got, bruh.
All right, yeah. Until next
Until
time.
next
yo.
time, yo.